Okay, so I just went ahead and took off, just to make this easier to see what I did in terms of the collage. I went ahead and removed my color fill layers, just because I wanted you guys to be able to see all the layers in here. You obviously you wouldn't do that. You would do what we did in the previous video. Um, but I just wanted to show you what I did. I went through and I did, I selected the parts that I wanted, and all the layers that are left, the ones that are turned on, are what you see. The ones that are turned off are the ones I didn't use so far. And I would probably do maybe another nose. I'd probably put another nose on here, maybe like right in here. And I would consider that a very, very close to the cubism that Picasso did. You're seeing how um, you can see the different sides of the image in the different views, but it's still a collective single overall portrait. And uh, I might, yeah, I don't know. I think maybe I can adjust how that's cropped a little bit. I think maybe it needs to see a little bit more of the eye. And the way I would do that would be, I want to go to this layer. Yep, that's it. That's the right layer. Okay, and I want to go to the clipping mask. And I want to see a little bit more of that eye. And so I'm just going to draw over it. And I'm going to paint, okay, with white. I've just drawn that area. And so now when I take my paintbrush, it will allow me to color that. Yeah, there we go. Color that eye in fully. And again, it's creating the hard edges that make it easy. It's really hard to paint with the paintbrush without using those. Now that I looked at it, I was like, well, I added in a little bit too much. So I want to go back and crop off these parts. Oops. Okay, and so I'm still on that mask, and I'm going to switch, and I'm going to paint with black. And it's going to get rid of, it's actually, I want to select inverse. There we go. And now it's going to allow me to paint off. Okay, and that's how you fine tune it, and that's how you start, getting the more fine details in there. Command D gets rid of your marching ants. And so you can see when I've aligned things, I've kind of aligned things. You've kind of got these lines that lead you around. Even though they're not perfectly aligned, there is still some alignment and some semblance. I would probably add maybe another piece behind this to kind of create this nice line. So just follow your lines around, see how they work. It's not, again, we're not making this perfect, but we are making sure that we have things aligned in a way that the brain still recognizes there's a face, albeit a distorted face. And then, with my color mode, clipping on top, my color adjustment modes on top of this, right, it will take this to the next level and make it more creative than if it was just this on its own. And so I would probably want to continue to fine tune this. I really feel like it needs another part right in here. Do something with the nose. And then you see how there's this very straight line around the outside. I may or may not want to break that. Kind of feel like I might want to. I would need to finish it to see. But I would want to continue with this so that there's not a lot of really hard edges, right? So you see that's very straight line right there. I'd want to come back behind this one with another image that shifts just the shoulder a little bit. I don't really need to see more of the face. And then just continue to refine it until you have something that's cubistic and meets the principles and elements of design. And then, play around a little bit, tweak around a little bit with your clipping masks. make some minor adjustments. And that is essentially the process. You start big picture and you start refining it into the details. Most of us work that way. As creatives, we tend to see big picture to details. Some people work the opposite. They see details to big picture. But in this case, when you're working, you do want to really start working with the big picture and whittling it down into the smaller pieces so that they align and that they work with the principles and elements until you get to your end result. Okay, so keep working on this, keep refining it until you end up with your end picture, end result. And I have included several examples of end results, lots of hours in refining and fine tuning and playing around with it. And whenever I do something, I find that my first attempt is not usually my best. It's usually my third attempt. And it's because I've learned from the first two processes to see what will work until I get to that end result. So keep working on yours, keep refining it until you come up with something really great, and then that's your end result. And have fun, because this is fun. This is meant to be a fun assignment where you get to play around and learn this, but also apply it to a project. And let me know if you have any questions.